So I just have to ask, is this what we're gonna do today? We're gonna sit here, we're gonna play dumb, we're gonna sit here and project, we're gonna lie, we're gonna play make-believe like we don't know what Nicki Minaj is talking about. You know who doesn't know you know who doesn't probably know what Nicki Minaj is talking about? Erica Kirk. Because Erica Kirk is not a part of the black community. But if you're black, right? Or if you know black people, Erica Kirk doesn't know two black people. But anybody else who knows more than two black people knows that they know what Nicki's talking about. See, there's like this thing, right? An active campaign to feminize all black boys. They're all supposed to be gay. And then society assumes that means they're going to be nonviolent. They're not going to join gangs. They're not going to commit crimes. So they want to feminize them. They want them to be girls. Nicki has a son. Nicki sees it. She sees the writing on the wall. She goes to AmFest, America Fest, because just like the rest of you ungrateful fucks, she makes a choice daily to live in the United States. So does everybody else in the black community. You know, living in America is optional, right? You don't like Trump. You don't like ICE. You don't like our laws. You don't like our traditions. You don't like Christians. You don't like white people. Why are you still here when you can escape? If America's racist and oppressive, but you choose to live here instead of escaping to another country, maybe America's not that bad. But for while we're here, you got to let boys be boys. Convincing boys that to be a man is toxic and wrong and evil, well, it has consequences. Let's take a listen to what Nicki has to say, and then I'll show you what she's talking about. Shall we?
Boys, be boys. Amen. Be boys. It's okay. Be boys. It's nothing wrong with being a boy.
Now, Nicki understands that she has a strong fan following, almost a cult. And a lot of her following, a lot of her followers, and a lot of her money generated was from boys pretending to be her. They want to twerk. They want to dress like her. They want to talk like her. They have the mannerisms like her. Nicki is a woman. But the boys have been conditioned that being a man is bad and being a girl is good. She wants the boys to just be boys. You don't have to be gay. You don't have to be trans. You don't have to be confused. You don't have to be a woman to be accepted, to be loved. There's strength in being a man. There's pride. She wants her son to know this. So she's not really talking to you degenerates and you pedophiles and you sickos who pretend that you don't have no idea that they're feminizing and grooming and molesting kids, targeting kids, grooming them with LGBT propaganda on the cartoons and in the TV shows and characters on video games or kissing. You're pretending you don't see it because you're complacent in it, because you're a groomer too. You're sick. Now, the rest of us, right, we fight people like you, like openly, physically. We literally fight against your bull. We're not letting you come for kids. Leave the kids alone. But you want to pretend like you have no idea what we're talking about. So we have to remind you to leave the boys alone and leave the kids alone, and boys should be boys.
How about that? Amen. How powerful is that? How profound is that?
Now, Erica Kirk she probably doesn't really get it because the propaganda isn't specifically aimed at her child. But apparently it's working like hell on the black community. My aunt was here. Me and my aunt went to dinner yesterday, and she was like, we were at this restaurant, and there was a bunch of a bunch of young people working there. Every boy that was black under the age of 30 working at the restaurant was gay. But that's everywhere now. All the black kids are gay, but you don't see equally gay Mexican or Asian or white. The black gay kids are it's through the roof because the propaganda towards their community is targeted. It's intentional. It's specific.
Amen. Boys will be boys, and there's nothing wrong with that.
And you know what? It seems like Nicki understands that she's probably done more harm than good because she sees so many young men mimicking her. And I'm sure that scares her because she gave birth and she's going to be raising a young man. And, you know, you don't really know how your kids are going to turn out until they're probably, 12 or 13. And maybe she's worried that she's probably irreparably damaged her son ahead of time. And maybe she's nervous. I would be. Having a gay son is every man's worst nightmare. And Nicki is probably worried about that. People want to bring up her husband, and I made fun of it too until I looked at the case. I believe it was a situation where he was 18, she was 17, and the girl's parents pressed charges, but they had already been together for years. It's kind of crazy how that works. So this is so in case you guys don't know, this is what Nicki was talking about.
You was arrested, bro. Like right after you was about to turn 18. You like, I'm about to turn 18.
No shade,
nigga, you got arrested, nigga. Yeah. Why? How?
Caught up in box on the set. This jack nigga MTG. Hold on Bobby. Hold on.
Oh my God.
Bobby on Crip Gang.
Nah, stop capping. You went to jail on purpose. Keep it 100.
Jail on purpose on the set.
It ain't nothing but the guy.
On Crip Gang on the set. I was riding on the set. I ain't gonna lie, Crip was horny. Yeah. On the set, went to go fight on the set.
You went to jail because you was horny?
Yeah, it's on the set because I was just staying in the house on the set. I pulled up to this nigga shit on the set, got my booty beat. Crip got booty beat. Pulled up to that nigga sitting up.
The black community is it's ran by black women. They don't listen to black men. Black men have no say so. They have no control, no power in their community, which is why there's no more wives. There's no more families. Black men don't even date black women anymore because of this. But unfortunately, this is where the children are influenced and controlled by them. So there's no men around. So the women are going to have to hold themselves accountable for how their children turn out. Because remember, the men weren't there. The men have been ran off, or the men were never there to begin with. But remember, they said they don't need men to raise these children. I remember specifically hearing women say that 20 years ago. We don't need men. We don't need fathers to raise these boys. We don't need them. What do we need a father for? Who needs fathers? What is a father? I've never seen. What do fathers do? All they do is beat you. All they do is rape you and attack you and punch you. That's what they said to you. They lied to you. Nicki Minaj is the first woman that I've seen make an effort to speak out against this and say, the boys can be boys. They don't have to be women. They don't have to be girls. We don't need to remake these boys in our own image because we're angry that these men rejected us and didn't want to be with us. So we take it out on our sons, and look at how the sons turn out. They don't have sons anymore. There's, this young man, unfortunately, the lifespan doesn't last very long for them. There will be no children. There will be no marriage. This is something you can't grow out of because the internet is forever. They will play this back, and he'll be ashamed of it if he ever do grow out of it, and he won't be able to live with his past and what he used to do. So again, like I tell people, the LGBTQP agenda pressed on children is the depopulation agenda, because this leads to death directly. They don't last very long, because without a wife, without children, a human life means very little. Family is everything, but you're a man, your own family means everything. And we understand that better now because, we saw that for stepdads, it didn't really mean anything. So now people are like, I don't even want to be a stepdad. I want to have my own family. I want to have my own children. I want to have a wife. But it's hard to do that here in the United States because of the propaganda that's literally directed towards kids, and specifically these black kids. Nicki Minaj sees herself in this young man. And that's why she said what she said on stage. So now you know. You don't have to play dumb anymore. You don't have to pretend. You have no clue what she's talking about. Now you know.
down dick.
Hold on. Tell me. It was it by your big homie?
No, it don't.
Who your big homie?
No, big
We wanna know. We wanna know who your big homie is. You said who?
I said no.
Man, bro, this is, I'll be honest with you. It seems funny, but this is disturbing and it's hard to watch. You know, I never, when I was a kid, I never knew any boys like this. Now, most people don't know any boys who are not like this. So much has changed in 15 years. And I remind people, you want to be a liberal? You want to support Democrat policies? You want to believe you're a victim, right? You're a victim. You're a victim of racism and oppression. You want to talk about slavery, bondage. You want to talk about being buck broke. You want to put that out there and remind these kids that they used to be slaves. They used to get, assaulted by their master. You make up all these disgusting stories about shit that you don't even know is true or not. You weren't there. There's no video evidence of any of it. You're literally passing on your homoerotic fantasies of bondage with white men. You're passing it on to other black kids. Because remember, this propaganda is coming from the parents, from their own community is telling these kids, you used to be a victim. You used to be a slave. You used to get touched by the master and this and this. They're literally polluting their own gene pool themselves. They're pouring harmful chemicals into their own pool. And then they're pointing at white people and say, but you guys invented the chemicals. Yeah, we're choosing to pour it in our pool, but you guys made it's zero accountability. That's another feminine attribute. So that comes with the whole blaming everybody else is a part of being feminine. So there is no repairing or saying, you know what, I was wrong. Let me be accountable. And that's why this problem is the way it is. Oh, that's not a problem, Rico. He's just a gay boy. This and this. It is a problem when you go over the numbers. He's not reproducing. There's no children coming from. You guys don't understand. You're knocking on the door of extinction already. Your numbers are down 4%. You were only 13 to begin with in 2020. You don't have the luxury to lose more and more people past the rate of replacement. You don't. A few people understand. I think Nicki understands. And she said we should let the boys be boys. But this is what she means. The boys have now been trained to be the girls.
You said what?
Who your big? Oh,
Bro,
stop! Stop!
I don't even bang. Like I don't bang. I don't gang bang.
You was.
Now you know. You don't have to play dumb. You don't have to say that Nicki's this and that and try to obfuscate everything to, warp to find out what other people have the same weird things going on with kids and are sexualizing kids or like kids and all that weird stuff. You don't have to virtue signal online and try to go through your comments and see who's actually into what you're into because they're slamming Nicki for saying boys should be boys. Well, this is clearly what she's talking about. So on this issue, right, there's only two sides. You're either on the side that promotes this and wants this for these kids because they're sickos and they're pedos, or you're on my side, the American side. There's only two sides. There's only two sides of this issue. And the line is drawn in the sand. Let me know which side you're on. See people in the comments. You can let me know what side you're on. And I want to hear what you have to say. I mean, this is something that's one of the most important issues facing our society as a whole, but specifically the Black community who we cohabitate this country with. So we all need to talk about this and think about what we're doing, what we're impressing upon kids and why. Because the results they're not promising to say the least. Like and subscribe, share the video. I want to hear your thoughts. I'll be back on shortly with another topic. America first, America only.
I've been needing to find a new apartment, which has not been easy with credit as bad as mine. Luckily, I found cosigning.com. They connected me with a cosigner who helped me get my dream apartment for me and my dog. I just paid a small fee and was able to move in fast. Get the cosigner you need for the apartment you want. Check out cosigning.com today.